In this training video, we are going to do an overview of the Teacher Web Pages section within the CMS. Just a few notes to start off here within the CMS. We are already logged in here. You see that you do have some tool options over here on the right-hand side: a file manager, video, library, the ability to reset your password here. There's also a CMS manual here if at any time you need that. There's also a little question mark right here, and if you click on that, you can ask for help right here, and that will come to our support team. So to get started with Teacher Web Pages, you see over here on the left-hand side is Teacher Web Pages. So if we click on that, this brings up our Teacher Web Page area. The first thing that we'll go over here is your home page. And the home page is the first thing that anybody will see when they click on your name from the Teacher Web Page link on your school's website. So you see here that you have the option to add a staff photo in here. You also have the option to go in here and add some contact information. So maybe you want to put your planning period in here. You could put like your phone number, things like that. Within our universal editor here, this editor will always be, the same editor will always come up whenever you're editing any kind of text. You can hover over anything if you need to know what things are. You can bold fonts, you can change your fonts, your paragraph formats, your font names, sizes, of course, and you can go in here and change your colors as well. So that's what the contact information is for. Down here under Teacher Bio, again, we have the same universal editor. It works the exact same way. Here you might want to add, how many years of teaching you've had experience with, what kind of schools, maybe something about your family. It's up to you. And then once you type that information here, you're going to click on Save Bio, and it's going to save that for you. Your home page, you also have a calendar. Your calendar, what it will do is it will pull things from your classrooms that you set up over here on the left, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. But you can also just add events to this calendar only if you need to. And if you click Add Event, you see that you have the option to add the name. So we might want to add the first day of school, because that's something that would generally apply to all classes. You see right here that you have the option to go in and add a class, or select it to add it to that class calendar. You see that it's optional. If not, it will only be displayed on this calendar right here. Of course, we set the event start date. You can also set a time. You can set a location, and then you can go in here and add event description and information if you need to. Then we're going to go down here and click on Save Event at the bottom of that page, and you see that we got a message that the event was added. So again, My Calendar on the home page is just, it pulls from your classroom calendar and your assignments, but you can also add just general events if it's going to be something that applies to all of your classes, like the first day of school. From this page, at any time that you are editing your Teacher Web Page, you also have the option to go in here and view the live site. And if you click on this, what this does is it opens up a brand new tab for you. And instead of having to go back in and log out and log in, those types of things, it pulls up a live picture of what your website looks like for that time. So you see that we have the first day of school event that we put on the calendar. We have our planning period, and that's what's on there. So that's just a good tool to use, and then you can switch back to the other tab to edit your page, which is what we're doing right here. You also have the option over here on the left-hand side to go in here and change the display name. It will automatically pull the name, your name that's been entered in there, but maybe you don't like the name. Maybe you want to put something like something a little more formal, something like that. You have the option to do that. You also have the option to go in here and rename these classrooms and pages names if you don't like the way that they're worded, if you want to change them to something else. But for the current time, let's go in here and add a classroom and look at the functionality of a classroom page. So if we click on Add Classroom here, it's going to ask us for a classroom title or a classroom name. So for me, maybe if I'm a business education teacher, maybe I teach technology applications, and I can put that as my class name. Click on Save Changes, and you see that it added that class right over here on the left-hand side. If we click on Technology Applications, it's actually going to take us into that classroom page, and you see here that we have some different functionality and features for this particular classroom. So one of the first things is you can also add a class photo just like a staff photo. You also have the option to go in here and manage a blog. You see right here that there's no current blog postings, but you can go over here and click on add blog post, type in your title, description, a posting date and time. You also can allow students to post comments. Now, one thing with the School Point's content management system is that we do not allow any comments to be posted unless they are approved by you. So even if you say, yes, I want comments to be posted, they will still require your approval before they come out on the live site. If you don't want any comments at all, you don't have to check that box. That is how you add a blog post. So we'll go back here to our technology applications page by clicking over here on the left. So that's the manage blog. You can also go in and add a course description. So if you click edit right here, you again see the same universal editor, and you can go in here and maybe add, if you have a syllabus or something like that, you can maybe copy and paste the course description in there, or maybe something from your curriculum guide if you wish. That's the class description. Again, just like we saw with your homepage, you also get a classroom calendar. You can go over here and edit this calendar name if you want. Maybe you want to say that this is the technology applications calendar just for this particular class. You can do that. And down here towards the bottom, this is the functionality that comes with classrooms. You have the option for announcements, assignments, photos, and links, and an image gallery. With these, you don't have to use all of these if you don't want to. You can actually go in here, and if you don't want the announcements area, you see where it says enabled. If you click on that, it actually disables it, and it says that this feature of this page has been disabled, and you can go down here and do that for any of these. You also have the option to go in here and change the name of any of these. So if you don't like the way announcements is worded, you can click on edit name, and it will bring up a box right here, and you can take out announcements and rename it whatever you want and click on save title. That's the same for all of these. For assignments, files, and links, and an image gallery, you can do all of that. So let's dive in here and take a look at these each individually so you see what they look like. If we click on add announcement, that's just a general class announcement. So maybe we want to say school supplies for this particular class. And since this is a technology class, maybe I want to say no supplies are needed. We will be using the computers in the classroom. You can also add an image to an announcement if you need to. Again, it's optional. If I click on save announcement right here, you can see that it added our announcement right there. And again, if we go up here to view live site at any time that we're making changes, it opens up that new tab. You can see now that we have where we changed the my display name, and then we have under my classroom, since we added a class, we have technology applications now, and you see right here the different sections that you can go in and enable and disable. But you see where we added the announcement for school supplies, it appears right there. We switch back to our other tab here, you can see that we can also go in here and add assignments. So if we add an assignment right here, the assignment name, so maybe we want to bring back syllabus signatures due. And we want to assign this on the first day of school, and we want to say that this is going to be due on the 19th. Now you see right here that there are some notes here under assign on and due date. If you set it, whatever date you assign it on is the day that it will actually display on your website. So you can go ahead and work in it ahead of time and create all of your assignments, but they actually won't show up until then, until the assigned date. The due date is the date that they'll be removed from the live site. So on the 19th, this assignment will automatically come off under the assignments area on my classroom webpage. You can go in here and set a description for this as well. And if you see right here, you can allow students to submit assignments online. The way that that works is it gives them the option to upload an assignment, and when they do that, they have to put in their first name, their last name, and of course they have to attach the file. The way that that works for the teacher end is that you can go in there and download all of the files at once as a zip file is what it's called, and it gives you the date and time that your student submitted that particular assignment. So that's how Submit Online works. Since this is a syllabus signature, I'm not going to require that. Then down here towards the bottom of the screen, let me move this down for you. You see that you have the option to save assignment button, and if we click on that, we see that our assignment is there. It tells us that it's unpublished because it is not the 15th yet. Now let's take a look at the files and links area of the teacher web page section. You can go in here and again change the name. You can also go in here and add a folder. So if we want to add a folder, maybe we want to add something like, if this is a technology applications, maybe we want to say Microsoft Word. Just like for the assignments where you can work ahead, here you can also work ahead as well. And if you want to start uploading a bunch of documents and add them into folders, you can actually hide a folder, and it will not display until you go in and make that folder public. So let's take a look at how that works. If we want to hide this folder, click on Save Folder. You see that it places the folder here under Files and Links, but you see that there are two different color folders here for hidden and active, and you see that that folder is color-coded as a hidden folder, so it's not showing up on our live website right now. If we want to go in here and unhide it, make it an active folder, we can click the Rename and Unhide, and we can go in here and uncheck this Hide Folder box. And once we do that and click on Save, you see that that folder is active. That's adding a folder. You can also go in here and add a file or download. So if we click on that, it brings up our dialog box here and it says, okay, do you want to place this in a folder you've created? So you can select that. If not, if you do not select a folder, it will just add it under the general files and links area, and the students won't have to go into that folder to view that file. So for this, maybe I want to add syllabus. And then you can click on Choose File. When you click on Choose File, it brings up the file manager within the CMS. And you see right here that it is loading. You can go in here in the file manager, since this is the first time we're looking at this. You can go in here and create a folder. You can see here I have one of those here, and you can create a folder and add files in there. You can also go in here and share a particular file. So let's say if I wanted to share this image from New York City, I could select that file, click on Share, and basically go over here and type in the email address of that person that I want to share it with. And then once they log in, they can go over here and click on Shared with Me, or if somebody shares files with you, you can click on Shared with Me, and those files will appear right there. To add a brand new file here, you can go up here and click on Add Files, and of course you can basically download or upload that file. So let's say this is my syllabus right here. I'm going to click on Open, and what it does down here at the bottom is it gives you a certain percentage of how fast the file is uploading, and since my internet speed was so fast, you didn't get to see it. But it uploaded that file, and you can see that now that that file has been uploaded, it puts the document name right there. Open a new window, all that does is that if the students decide to click on this, it will open that in a new window and leave your web page in the background. You can also put a brief description for a file if you need to. Now that I've went through here and I've put my title in here and I've went through the file manager and uploaded my file, once I click on the Save File, you can see that I have a syllabus document right here. If we go out here to the live website, click on Technology Applications, you can see that syllabus is right there, and we also have a folder that we created under Microsoft Word. We go back to our Content Management System tab, CMS tab. You also have the option to go in here and add a link. So again, it works very similar to adding a file. You can go in here and select that link to go into a certain folder. You go in here and type a display title, so we can type something like Google. And for our website address, you put your website address in there. Open new window works the same way as it does with adding a file, and you can go in here and put a brief description as well. We click on Save Link. We see that it places it right there. Google is placed right there for that link that we just added. Under the image gallery area, you see that you have the option to go in here and add a gallery or add images to a slideshow. If we add a new gallery here, and we can go in here and title this gallery maybe New York City Pictures, since I have some of those. You type in the gallery title. You can go over here and click on Add Images. It brings up our file manager, and I'm going to select these images that I already have in my file manager. To select more than one image, you can hold down the Control key and click on each different file, and it will select more than one. If we click OK here, you see that it places both of those images here in our slideshow. You can also add a caption. If you're wanting to add a caption to each individual picture, you will want to leave it blank during this step. But if you are wanting to add the same caption to each picture, the same caption to each picture, you can add that here. And you see right here, there's a note at the top for that. The caption will apply to all uploaded images at one time. We click on Save Gallery here. You can see that it places our New York City gallery down here under Image Gallery. And if we click on this, we go in here and we have our images that we uploaded. Within this area, you can go in here and drag and drop these if you need to reorder them. You can also go in here and add the caption that we were talking about if you click on Edit. And then under Caption here, that's where you can go in there and add your caption. And then once you do that, you can click on Save Caption. If at any time you need to add another image to a gallery, you can go into that gallery just like we are right here, and you can go over here and click on Add Images, and that will bring up the option for you to go in here and choose that file. If we go back to our Technology Applications page, you also have the option to go down here and add images to a slideshow. So if we go down here and click on that, you can see that we have to go in here and choose our images. So if we click on Choose File, our file manager comes back up. I'm just going to go ahead and select a file that is already here. So I'm going to click on this one. And you see right here for this one, you have to select images from your file manager one at a time for this slideshow. So I have one image there. I'm going to click on Choose File again. It brings up my file manager. And then I'm going to select this image, click OK. And then I'm going to click on Add Images to Slideshow. And right here you see that it brings up a slideshow, and you can go in here and click on each individual picture to view them if you want to. So that is the advantage of a classroom page. Everything that we've been doing here has been in the classroom area of a page. One thing that I did not mention at the beginning here is that if you want to work on a classroom page in advance but do not necessarily want it to be visible to the public, you can go in here and create your classroom, and then the first thing that you can do is click on Disable Teacher Web Page. So you see right here, if we click on this, what that is going to do is it's going to disable our web page from being visible to the public. So if we go out here to view our live website right now, you can see under Classrooms that my Technology Applications page has disappeared because I've deactivated it. If you want to go in here and actually enable that page or re-enable that page for it to appear, all you have to do is uncheck that box and your teacher web page will appear under My Classrooms again, just like it did right here. Alright, so that is the advantage of a classroom. A classroom page gives you these extra features down through here, and it gives you the ability to have a classroom calendar and a blog. Now let's go in here and look at a page. So if we click on Add Page, a page title, maybe we want to do something like General Homework Help. So we can type that title in right there and click on Save Changes. And you see right here that it added it just like it did our classroom. And if we click on Homework Help here, it brings up the universal editor that's featured in the CMS. A page, it basically gives you the opportunity to go in here and add any kind of content that you want to in any way that you want to format it. It's basically like a blank Microsoft Word document. So you can go in here and add anything that you want to. That's what a page is for. You don't get the extra features such as the assignments, the files and links, the class, or the image gallery. You don't get those kinds of things. It's basically just a blank slate, and you can do whatever you need to do with it. That is a page. If we look over here under pages, you see that you have the option to add a subpage under a page that you've added, and you also have the option to add a subpage under a classroom that you've added. A subpage, all it does is it's going to place it underneath your main title here. So if we want to add a subpage under Technology Applications, maybe we want to add it something like Computer Jobs. If you want to have information about that on your class or for your students, you can add that, click Save Subpage, and you see that it adds it right underneath your Technology Applications, and you can click on that and you can go in here, and again, it's basically just like a blank slate. You can also do that for your homework help. If you have multiple classrooms or multiple pages, you see that these little navigation bars or these little up and down arrows, you can go in here and actually move these around, drag and drop them. So if you have multiple classrooms but you want to reorder them, or if you have multiple pages and you want to reorder the way that they appear, you can go left click and you can drag them around to whatever order. So if we can go in here, I want to add a business 101 class, click on Save Changes, and let me do a refresh. You can see right here that I can go in here and move those around and make Business 101 my first area. And if we go over here and click on View Live Site, we see that that's how it looks. One thing to note here, this note's on here, sometimes people overlook this. It may take up to 60 seconds for changes to appear on your teacher web page, so it might not be necessarily immediate. It just depends on the way the district handles your network and if there's any caching involved. That is the overview of the teacher web page area of the CMS. If at any time you need to go back and review any sections of your teacher web page, maybe you particularly don't remember something, but you don't want to go back and watch this entire video. If we go down here in the footer of the CMS at any time, there is a feedback and support link. If you click on feedback and support, what that does is it brings up our user voice knowledge base here. From this screen, you can of course contact support, but there's also all of these different articles. And if you go down here towards the bottom, we have a teacher web pages area. And you see here that this is all of the knowledge base articles that we have for teacher web pages. So we have anything from adding classroom and pages to using the file manager to adding those assignments. And if you click on one of these here, you can go in here. There are text directions, but there are also video segments for just that particular section. So there's a video here for just using the announcements, files and links, assignments, and the photo gallery or the slideshow here. There's a video just for that section. If you need to go in here and watch how to add classroom and pages again, there are videos for both of those. Of course, you can always contact support at any time if you need our assistance. Thank you for watching this training video and have a great day.